When asked a man who had no friends about the reason for this happening, he replied, "Friendship is like a diamond, rare and often counterfeited. If you make a mistake once, then a second and a third time, one day you will say that true diamonds do not exist anywhere, that they are all imitations." Another person added, "A friend is someone who should be valued and appreciated, but unfortunately, in life, we rarely find friends that we can truly appreciate." Haruki Murakami wrote about this in his book, Norwegian Wood. He also speaks of it through his characters. "Do you like solitude?" she asked, resting her cheeks on her hands. "Travel alone, eat alone, sit alone in the classroom away from others." "I don't like solitude. It's just that I avoid unnecessary acquaintances. I don't want people to disappoint me." There's a beautiful and sad story about an apple tree. And everyone, those who have friends and those who don't. A boy was friends with an apple tree in the forest. He would visit it frequently, swing on its branches, eat the apples it gave him, make crowns with its leaves, and imagine he was a true forest king. And when on a hot day he grew tired of playing, the apple tree would shield him from the sun, and the boy would fall asleep in its shade. The apple tree believed in honest and selfless friendship. Time passed, the boy grew up, and he visited his friend less often. He had new friends and new interests, but he still visited the apple tree occasionally. One day, when he saw it again, the apple tree noticed that the boy was very sad. "What happened, my friend?" the apple tree asked, looking into his eyes. "Why don't you play with me anymore? Why don't you swing on my branches? Why don't you imagine yourself as a king? A king needs to have money, and I don't have any," the boy replied reluctantly. "You don't have any either, but I have a suggestion. Pick my apples, sell them, and you'll have money. Then you can be your same old friend, kind and cheerful." The boy picked the apples, sold them, but he never returned, and the tree waited for him for a long time, looking down the path he used to take. One day, the boy returned, discontent with his life. "Why did it take you so long to come back?" asked the apple tree. "I missed you. I've had many problems. Everyone has a family and children. I can't have my own family because I don't have a home. What's the use of our friendship if you can't give me a home?" "I can," the apple tree replied. "Cut down my branches and build the house you want. Then you'll learn to be happy again and be your same old kind and cheerful friend." He cut down all the branches, built his house, started a family, and lived until old age without remembering the apple tree. But one day, he returned to it and again complained about life. "Instead of being happy to see it," he said, "I'm tired of everything. I want to sail away, so I don't have to see anyone. I need a boat, but I don't know where to get one." The apple tree fell silent, looking sadly at its friend. He had already picked up the axe and swung it multiple times to cut its trunk and make a boat. When he succeeded, he left without even looking back at the poor, destroyed stump that had once been his friend. Time passed. Frequent rains watered the apple tree's trunk. The sun warmed the soil, and wild animals sometimes rested under its shade, enjoying life. But the stump found no joy in anything. It saw no more purpose, valued nothing in the world anymore. Yet, the world continued to exist, and one day, the stump unconsciously released a small green shoot from its soul. It quickly grew into a young and beautiful apple tree, full of life. It began to live again and learn to enjoy each new day. But one day, a child approached and said, "Hi, let's be friends." The apple tree trembled, but it didn't respond. It no longer believed in true friendships. Within every cynical person, an idealistic disappointment lives. Who knows, perhaps it too had been an apple tree for someone. In The Vampire Diaries, by L.J. Smith, Damon Salvatore says, "The hardest thing is to forget the people who brought only pain and disappointment." But there's an objection. The hardest thing is to forget friends. So, if you know someone who has no friends, don't rush to judge them. It doesn't always mean that they are bad. Perhaps they were an apple tree many times for someone and now have simply stopped believing in honest and selfless friendship. And that's very sad, isn't it, my friend? Not having a friend suggests that a person has many reasons not to trust others.